Hello everyone, my name is Prajakta Dage. I am from Department of Zoology, KTHM College, Nashik. Today I'll be talking about the chapter Introduction to Class Reptilia. The topic that we are going to deal with today is classification of class Reptilia. Now this is for class SYBSc semester 4 and the subject is Animal Diversity 4. This is the second lecture of the particular chapter. Now, in the previous lecture, we have already seen the general characters of class Reptilia. What all characters do they have? What all character makes them specialized for living? Or let's begin with the classification of class Reptilia. Now, Reptilia has about 7,000 living and several extinct species. These are grouped into about 16 orders, of which only 4 are living. Class Reptilia has been divided into 5 subclasses on the basis of presence of or say absence of the temporal vacuities or the fauces or say gaps in their skull. Okay, so the 4 subclasses are as follows: Anapsida, this one where there is no gap present. If you see here, this black color represent the gaps or the fauces or the cavities that are present into the skull. So the first subclass is Anapsida, second is Eurypsida, then you have Parapsida, Synapsida and Diapsida. Now let's see one by one about these. Now when we talk about Anapsida, as you see here, there is no temporal vacuity present. So anapsids are characterized by absence of the temporal vacuity or say temporal foci. Whereas the Eurypsida, in Eurypsida, skull has a single pair of temporal openings or say vacuity. Now if you see these members, Eurypsida, Parapsida and Synapsida, they all of them have a single temporal vacuity. But the thing is, the location of these temporal vacuities in all the 3 groups or all the 3 subclasses is different. That is why they are placed differently. So in case of Eurypsida, the cavity is bounded by postorbital and squamosal bones. So if you see here, you have a postorbital over here and here you have a squamosal bone. So in between these two cavity, in these bones, there will be presence of the cavity. Now let's talk about Parapsida. Parapsida, the single temporal vacuity that is present will be present or will be bounded by postfrontal. Okay, you'll have a postfrontal bone and supratemporal below and parietal above. Okay, so here you can see postfrontal over here. Here you can see the supratemporal and here you have the parietal. Okay, so basically the locations are different. If you see, the structures of the skulls are or the type of the bones are also slightly different. Okay, so now let's see about the Synapsida. Synapsida, if you see Synapsida, here a pair of temporal vacuity will be bounded by postorbital and squamosal from above. So you have a postorbital and squamosal on above, and below you are going to have the jugal and the squamosal. Okay, so jugal and the squamosal will be present from below. And Diapsida, very simple. You can just see here there are 2 temporal vacuities present in the diapsids. Okay, so now, so basically these 2 cavities or these 2 foci, temporal vacuities, are separated by a bar of postorbital and squamosal bone. So this is the postorbital, this is the squamosal, and this forms a bar. So this is about the Diapsida. Now let's see the characteristic features. So we are going to deal with only two subclasses. Others are extinct, so we are going to deal with only two classes. One is Anapsida subclasses. One is Anapsida and the other one is Diapsida. Let's begin with, here you have the summary. So Anapsida, only living order is Chelonia. Then you have there is only one order in it, Chelonia, Euripsida, Parapsida, Synapsida. Then you have Diapsida. There are two super orders in Diapsida. One is Lepidosauria and the other one is Archaeosauria. Now Lepidosauria has two orders under it. One is Rhynchocephalia. The next one is Squamata. Now in Squamata there are two suborders. One is Lacertilia. To Lacertilia all lizards belong. So all lizards will be placed in Lacertilia, and in the suborder Ophidia there will be all snakes present. Now when we talk about Archaeosauria over here, superorder Archaeosauria, there are two orders below it, Saurischia, which is extinct dinosaurs, and then you have Crocodilia, where you see all types of crocodiles, alligators placed in this particular order. Now let's begin with the suborder Anapsida. Now the roof of the skull is going to be solid in these particular organism. As we have already seen, no temporal vacuity or foci are present in the skull. The quadrate bone is connected to the otic bones. Limbs are going to be generally strong, and the body will be enclosed in the dorsal carapace and ventral plastron. So if you have seen the tortoise or turtles, all of them belong to Anapsida. So basically it contains two orders, Cotylosaura, and which is extinct obviously, and then you have Chelonia. To the Chelonia you have all the turtles and tortoise belonging to. Let's see the order Chelonia or Testudinata. Now let's break this word. Chelone is turtle and Testudo is also turtle. Okay, so let's begin with the characteristic features of these organisms. These organisms are terrestrial or aquatic. Now body will be enclosed in a shell composed of dorsal carapace and ventral plastron, which may or may not be covered with a horny shields. Nasal opening is single at the frontal end of the snout. Now these organisms are going to be tetrapods. Okay, they have pentadactyl limbs that are clawed, walking limbs, and webbed pedals will be present. Okay, so basically their body will be divided as head, trunk and tail, and the tail will be always present. So next one is their body the skull is going to be anapsid type and with the single nasal opening. Now jaws are going to be without any horny sheaths, and the copulatory organs are going to be unpaired and simple. Okay, so now when we talk about these organisms, these include all the turtles, tortoise and terrapin in it. Now let's move on to the particular, see here you can see the diagrams. You have a chelone. So basically this is this is a carapace and what do you have from below of this particular organism? This is called as plastron. So this is terrapin, this is chelone, completely aquatic. They come on land for lake eggs only. This is terrapins are generally found in fresh waters, and testudo, we all know it is a tortoise and it is terrestrial in nature. So let's move on to the description of the chelone. Now when we talk about chelone, it is commonly known as a green turtle. Okay, now its body is going to be rigid and measuring about 110 centimeters. It is divided into head, neck, trunk and tail. Now they are going to have a flat heart-shaped carapace with smooth bony shields. Plastron, which is going to be present below on the ventral side, joins to the carapace by means of the ligaments. Dorsal and costal shields are present. The limbs are flipper-like and well adapted for swimming. You can see here the limbs, right? So these are flipper-like limbs. Now forelimbs have wing-like paddles and have first digit clawed, whereas hind limbs are clawed and webbed. You can see here. Okay, so this was all about the order or say the organism chelone, which belongs to order Chelonia. Now let's move on further to subclass Diapsida. As already mentioned, the subclass Diapsida, there are two temporal vacuity on each side behind the eyes. The temporal vacuities are separated by means of a bar of postorbital and squamosal bones, which I have already shown you when we were seeing the diagram. Now anteroorbital openings and depressions will be absent in these organisms. Okay, so the order that we are going to study is order Rhynchocephalia. Rhynchos is snout and cephal is head. Let's see the characters of this. As already mentioned, it belongs to Diapsida, so it should have two temporal vacuities present in it. The teeth are going to be acrodont. These organisms have a small body and elongated their appearance, or they are lizard-like. So lizard-like. Limbs are going to be pentadactyl, clawed and burrowing. Granular scales cover the skin and has mid-dorsal row of spines. The quadrate bone is fixed. Vertebrae are amphicoelous, that is the centrum is biconcave. Numerous abdominal ribs will be present. Copulatory organs are absent in the males. The best example is Phenodon punctatum tortora. Here you can see the image of it. Is a single living example that is found in New Zealand. Okay, now let's move on to the next part, which is order Squamata. Already mentioned that all the lizards and snakes are belonging to this particular order. Now exoskeleton of these organisms is made up of horny epidermal scales, shields and spines. The quadrate bone is movable. Teeth are pleurodont. Now vertebrae are procoelous, that is only one side of the centrum is concave. Ribs are going to be single-headed. Limbs will be clawed and absent in snakes and lizards. Cloacal aperture is transverse. Males have irreversible doubled copulatory organs known as hemipenis. So the examples belonging to this particular order are Calotis or garden lizard, Hemidactylus or wall lizard, Draco, which is flying lizard, Naja, Thais, Python, Eryx, which belong to snakes. So there are many more members present in this particular order. You can see here the snakes and a lizard. This is python. Then you have boa, and the, of course, flying lizard. Let's talk about Calotus versicolor. Now this description here is all about Calotus versicolor, which belongs to order Squamata. Now its throat is scarlet red in color, hence it is called as bloodsucker. Calotus has slender elongated lizard-like body which is divided into head, neck, trunk and tail. Now male is going to be golden yellow with greenish tinge, and red throat bears a transverse bar. Male, being stronger and larger than female, measures about 35 centimeters in length. Calotus lives in crevices and lays eggs in the debris. It is capable of both running on ground and swimming in water. Okay, so this was the description about Calotus versicolor. Let's talk about order Crocodilia. All crocodiles belonging to this particular order. So these are freshwater and predatory carnivorous forms. Okay, the body is covered with exoskeleton of thick horny epidermal shields. Now tail is long, strong and laterally compressed. Limbs are short, powerful, clawed and webbed. Quadrate is immovable. Both supra and infratemporal arches are present. Teeth are thecodont, lodged in jaw sockets. Sternum will be present, and thoracic ribs will be double-headed and possess unicate processes. Vertebrae are procellus, cervical vertebrae with two-headed ribs. Abdominal ribs will be present. Now lungs are going to be spongy in these organisms, and cloacal aperture is longitudinal slit-like. Heart is four-chambered and ventricle is completely divided into two by a septum. Now we have seen the examples: Crocodilus, alligator and Gavialis. You can see all three of them. So this is basically the crocodile, the alligator, and this is Gavialis. The name is not described here, but this is Gavialis. All about the classification of the reptiles. And thank you so much for listening to the lecture.